Greetings and welcome to Be One Love Spirituality in a Modern World. Last year, as I was going through cancer treatments, radiation and chemo, I tell the nurse, because you got like 25 doctors and PAs and all these people, you got a whole team helping you out, right? So I had nasopharynx cancer. It was a massive progressive tumor in my sinus. It moved up to my head. So where the sinuses meet in the middle of the head, the cancer was eating the bone. So they had to do cancer treatments, and I could smell the cancer cells burning when I was going through radiation. And I told the nurse, and she said that people that are highly sensitive and children that have cancer also can smell it. Well, I was lucky. I was born with all 5 gifts. So my hearing, smelling, seeing, tasting, touching, everything of the human 5 senses are extremely out there. I can feel things before they happen. I could see things before they happen. These are what they call God's gifts. So I was born this way. A few years back, my mother asked me, because I'm always trying to teach her metaphysical stuff. She asked me, why is it some people die early? And I said, they've served their purpose. They knew what their purpose was. A lot of people are born with it, and some have to discover along the way, and that's called experience. So the people that pass are the people that were already served their purpose in this lifetime. Each person has a purpose to serve in each lifetime. In each lifetime is called a recreation in reincarnation. So as you're reborn, recreate, reincarnate. So as you're reborn in each lifetime, that means that if you pass your purpose in the last life, then in the next life, then voila, you then move up to the next level. Okay, so in Western astrology, you go by the sun sign. In the Eastern astrology, you go by the moon sign. So, like for instance, in Western, I'm a Gemini, that's air. In Eastern, in Chinese, the rabbit. So each zodiac sign goes by different planets in the universe. So that when I'm listening to stuff, it's like there's always so much stuff going on that I have to write stuff down to help me to remember. It's the same as writing a grocery list. You have to write stuff down. And now they get a phone, so you put all those doodads in there, and then you just look at your phone and be like, okay, I need to get bread or pina colada. Or, I don't drink, but just say it. It's like whatever floats your boat, then that's what you're going to get at the store. So it's kind of like you're making your grocery list all the time. So for me, I wrote down Sun is Gemini, 11th house, Moon, Sagittarius, 4th house, Mercury, Taurus, 10th house. So these are all of mine in my natal chart. In your natal chart will be by longitude and latitude of the moment you're born. So when you know your time of birth, and that will give you one direction of your purpose. Then you get your natal chart, and then it gives you different things that you need to learn in that particular house or that particular experience or whatever. It teaches you all that. So I am Reverend Dr. Juanita Lewis, BMSc, MSc, DDIV, PhD, CFP, RP, MCC, PO3, and a certified commercial cleaning business and certified small business owner and certified financial planner. PO3 is a petty officer 3rd class in the United States Navy, and here are my dog tags. I figure when I was 17, I wanted to travel for a living. Being an air sign, you need to travel. In Native American astrology, I am the deer people. In the Mayan astrology, I'm the lizard. In the Australian astrology, I'm the sugar glider. Or, no, seahorse. In Chinese astrology, I'm the rabbit. And of course, that's a water rabbit. So you got to have your elements. That's water. Gemini is air. So you got all your 5 elements. In the Western hemisphere of astrology of Earth, you have the 4, air, earth, fire, water. In the Eastern hemisphere of Earth, you have 5 elements: air, earth, fire, water, wood. When you know the year of your birth, then you know what is your element when you're going by that particular astrology sign. I am, okay, meditation. As you meditate each and every day, you are listening to Om mantra. Om is the first spoken word of God. Keep in mind, the world meditates at 4 a.m. So it's always 4 a.m. somewhere in the world, and that's when people are meditating. My destiny number is a 4. Like as I said, that each astrology sign with your name number put together becomes numerology, and numerology in different parts of the world have their own numerology. It's not just one path. In the Western Hemisphere, my destiny number is a 4, and 4 means work. And in the Kabbalah, my destiny number is 6. Well, my birthday is 6663, so it coincides together. Why are you here, and what is your purpose? If you know your purpose, it makes life so much simpler. The universe always gives you what you want, but not how you want it, because you didn't know what you wanted in the first place, because you have to be specific in the things that you want in life. In order to grow into your purpose, you have to know what your purpose is. The universe will always give to you. So I always talk to the universe, and when I do, then I always get what I want because I'm specific in what it is that I wanted. Example, I'm at work one day, I'm talking to the boss, and I thought about it. I need a hammer. I tell him this. I get back on my mower because, yes, thank you very much. I'm 30 years professional landscaping. I am a game mower, and I am the #1 game mower. So that is 15-foot wingspan, 11 blades, 4-wheel drive, and hydraulics. Yes, I operate heavy equipment. Thank you very much. And people used to say, oh, you're female. You belong in an office. My soul dies. I can't handle it. I did 13 years of accounting, and I now have 30 years professional landscaping. Okay, I'm much better. I'm like 5 and I'm climbing trees and stuff. And they ask me when I'm 5, what do you want for Christmas? I want a race car set. I want trucks. I mean, I always grew up as a tomboy. So when you know what it is that you want, then you must be specific. So I tell my boss I need a hammer. Literally, I get on the mower, I go across a little driveway, I drive my mower across the driveway, and yeah, I want heavy duty equipment. Don't give me the little baby riding mowers. Those are little boy toys. So I go over there, literally 2 minutes after I started mowing the football field, because that's what I do. I do the fields. I have 22 schools. I do the fields at all the schools, okay? High school, junior high, and elementary. That's the way it is. I'm an air sign. I want to travel for a living. Oh, it's a whole nother ball game. So I'm mowing around, and 2 minutes later, what's laying on the side of the road? On the side of the grass? A hammer. So this stuff happens all the time. You have to be specific in what it is that you want. And the universe will give you whatever it is that you want. You must know what you want, which is seek, find, conquer, move on. Remember, you have to make things simple. So there are 4 avenues. Make it simple in your mind, okay? Because the brain and the mind is 2 separate things. The brain is a body part. It holds the storage of the central computer of the neurons, protons, atoms, all that. Yeah. That connects to the body. So they send, telegraphic, holographic messages to each body part to do this and that. All right. That's the scientific. You can get much more into it when you're into botany and anatomy and physiology and all the good stuff, the ologies, anthropology, sociology, epistemology. I wanted to be an epistemologist, but no, I decided, well, I'm going to go into my dual PhD in psychology because I want to get into parapsychology, because I am a metaphysician, which is an alternative doctor. I teach people how to reconnect the mind, body, emotion, spirit into the core being. The core being is the soul. The soul is the teacher to the spirit that is the student. The spirit is the teacher to the human that is the student. Remember, to pray is to talk to God. To meditate is to communicate with God. I'm here to help spiritually guide you through your mission, which is your soul purpose in this lifetime. In Western astrology, we have Aries is the infant, Taurus is the baby, Gemini is the child, Cancer is the adolescent, Leo is the teenager, Virgo is the adult. These are the first 6 levels of love. Then the second 6 levels of love, once you've passed those 6, those are all like the physical levels. So yes, Gemini is the internal child. If it's not fun, what's the point in doing it? Don't bore me to death. There's a grade. Put me in it now because now I'm bored to death. So don't bore me to death. I always say, inspire me. The more I learn about me, the more I can help others, which in turn helps humanity. And this is what the purpose is. When you help something else, you are helping yourself, which then you're growing in personal growth, because there's no such thing as yesterday nor tomorrow. It's only today that counts in personal growth. Bottom line, there is a fog on the left. That is your past. There is a fog on the right. That is your future. Now, the past could be yesterday, a couple years ago, your last life, whatever. The future is like the next minute, excuse me, the next hour, the next lifetime, all right? Past and future. These are not privileged to you at the conception of your birth. You then discover these within your lifetime. The second 6 in astrology of love lessons is Libra, marriage, Scorpio, sex, Sagittarius, knowledge, Capricorn, experience, Aquarius, idealism, and Pisces, submission. When you've reached the level of Pisces, for all zodiac signs, you have a lesson to teach, one lesson to teach, and one lesson to learn. The teaching is easy. Everybody does that to gossip. Or you can higher that level, bring it up, because anything that goes down must come up. Well, that's in the world of 3D, third dimension. In the world of 5D, fifth dimension, whatever goes down must come up. It is the opposite of what you perceive it to be. For Pisces is to teach that love is compassion and learn that love is all. When you can comprehend beyond the human five senses, that's where you get in the world of the sixth sense, seventh sense, eighth sense. You have 7 chakras in each body of being: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. 4 bodies. Each one has 7 chakras. So that's 28 chakras. I've gotten a few auric pictures, which comes from the Kirkland photograph. That's the guy who invented the machine. So I get them over the years, and when they take a photo, it shows a moment in time of the emotional body of being. In is in the moment, in the emotion, in 3D, third dimension, in Earth's physical realm of the human 5 senses. Of is above 3D, third dimension, above human emotion, etc., etc. Gemini is the child. So we are the internal children. It's about fun. That's what life's about. So as you watch my YouTube channel, you will see different things. I have my art on there. I have my music. I have, I love those notifications on my phone. Yeah, I don't like the iPhone, and I never will. I'm a PC kind of gal. That's what I live on, is the PC. So, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Yay, thank you very much. So, this book is called The 12 Mysteries of Love. No, this book is called Love Signs, but in the chapter, The 12 Mysteries of Love, Aries is, to me, this is Linda Goodman. She's the lady that wrote the book. Aries is the infant. So that is the first love level. The second love level is Taurus is the baby, and Gemini is the child. And to me, Cancer is the teenager, but Cancer is the adolescent. So you're like in a preteen level, okay? When you begin to study anything to do with astrology, you begin to see, and of course I grew up with that stuff. My family was all up into that, and I was Wiccan, okay? So there's a difference between good and bad, heaven, hell, black, white, God, devil, all that jazz, all right? So there's a difference in the, yin and yang. There's 2 different levels. When you take all that information and you combine it into yourself, that is your 3rd level. All right, now remember, trilogy is the number 3. So when you get into geometry, you'll see all the different geometric shapes. A straight line, that's a geometric shape. You have the triangle, that's a geometric shape. And triangle in feng shui is the same as the element of fire. So they all go hand in hand. So you have people that are Egyptologists. They study Egyptian pictographs. For each deal, an anthropologist, archaeologist, they'll do the digging, they find the bones. Well, then you find all these little increments with the bones. Some cultures, they bury their dead with, I don't know, jewels and the animals they loved, or whatever was important to them, because they want to take it into their next life. Well, you're going to find that except for when you go into the Vikings. The story goes in mythology, they burned their dead. So the dead didn't take anything with them. Native American back in the day, you weren't allowed to take any pictures because then it was stealing their soul. Each culture has their own belief system. And that's the cool thing about anthropology. I have a degree in anthropology, behavioral science. I love cultures. That's what makes the world go around. It's the textiles, the food, the music, the whole, wow, smorgasbord. For me, I always believed it was, I didn't want to believe when I was younger because everybody's like, oh, you should believe this, you should think that, you should do this, and blah, blah, blah. Like, seriously, my soul is dying. I don't follow the norm. The normal. That's too boring. I can't deal with normal. It has to be fun. For me, fun is sitting in a library reading all the books. I want to soak up all the knowledge. My brain is like a sponge. I can never get enough. To ground myself, as with all astrology signs, you must ground yourself. And one of the ways is through music meditation. To mind, body, emotion, spirit, you want to release, eliminate whatever it is. For me, it's every 24 hours. I clean out my mind, I clean out my emotions, I clean out my body, I clean out my spirit. You don't want to keep this baggage called karma. You can, create karmic credit or karmic debt. And who wants to walk around like 4 sacks, 10-pound bags, sacks of potatoes through life? This is what you're doing when you're carrying stuff emotionally. This is what you're doing when you're carrying stuff in your mind and so on and so forth. That is so detrimental to you. That is detrimental in your mind, your body, your emotion, and your spirit. And detrimental is universal knowledge. Universal knowledge is common knowledge. Common knowledge is passed down from eons of generations of thousands of years. Common knowledge is basic, common sense, down to earth, common sense, practical, and common knowledge. When you learn how to process it, seek, find, conquer, move on. You're seeking what it is you don't understand. You find what it is you don't understand. You conquer the fear of not knowing, and now you know, and then you move on. So it's the 4 quadrants of understanding. Eventually, I figured out, okay, these are more than just my spirit guides. Someone once mentioned this, you have angels. Okay, sure, I'm happy for that. I like that. They help guide me through. And I don't name my spirit guides or my angels or whatever, because names are just labels. And you put labels on stuff, then you're putting it into a category. When you put it into a category, it's simply called judging. When you assume something, you are then judging it. And remember, everything is one. So if you are judging someone else, you are judging your own inadequacies. So assuming is then detrimental to yourself, which then is called karma. Karma is like you think something, you put a thought to, and you have an emotion. So your thought becomes an emotion. It will then create karma within your being, which is You're sending it out, and it does like loop, like the infinity. It goes out and then it comes back. It's called the boomerang effect. This is karma. When you begin to realize that things are going the opposite direction of what you want, well, you've just created your world. So your thoughts create your world. It's pretty simple stuff. You then learn how to eliminate. You recognize it. You've now conquered the fear of not knowing. You've recognized it. You've accepted it. Now you change it. When you've changed it, you're releasing that baggage and it's going back into the universe. So what I do is, for instance, you're taking a shower. You take a shower, the water's running because water is cleansing, purifying. Moving water is male energy. Stagnant water is female energy, and that's how people get sick when water is stagnant. Air is stagnant. You have to keep it flowing. That is called energy, life force energy, which is creating movement. You want to keep things moving. When things are moving, you're releasing. That is the object of the game. So you're taking a shower. This is what I do. Take a shower, you're cleansing, and you say to the universe. You're not talking to anybody, folks. You're talking to the universe. Remember, when you pray, you're talking to God. When you meditate, you communicate with God. So as you're cleansing, it's a good thing. And as you're communicating with the universe, you are saying, I'm now releasing all of this negative energy, goes down into the drain, back up into the universe to be recycled into love for all those in need. It then gets recycled. It comes back. Because all is one. When you know about Reiki, you understand that there have been times that a lot of people get together. They're holding hands and they're all like, I don't know, in a field or whatever. Maybe it could be in an office building, I don't know. You're holding hands and you all are thinking the same exact thing. You are thinking you're healing whoever it is that might be sick in your office or any workplace that you're at. You want to change the energy. Life force energy, when you're doing Reiki and you are the practitioner and you're like, Reiki is placing hands on like the shoulder or whatever, because you're releasing the energy of the toxins that are binding. So you put your hands on the person, and what it is the universal life force energy comes through the practitioner. You are the conduit for the energy. It goes into the client, patient, and it pulls out the toxins, goes back into you and back up into the universe, and that's the way it works. This is called life force energy. You must create the energy, which is through thought, and once you've done that, then you can release it, and so then it will go into the universe. And your thoughts must be pure. You have conditional love, you have unconditional love, and you have pure love. Once again, it is the trilogy. The trilogy works magic because you have trained your thoughts into the world of trilogy. When you have moved forward, then you can move into the fourth level, which is the fourth dimension. As you go through and you begin to understand the chakras and the colors that illuminate from each chakra are the emotional body of being. So if you're physically sick in a certain part of your body, it will show up in that part of your auric pick. Picture, auric pick. It will show up in that. If you have an ailment in your head, it'll show up in your auric pick. And it will show up in color, because this is the color spectrum beyond human eyes. Remember, you have 2 ears. You can hear with human ears, or you can listen with your whole being. So each 5 sense has a double. You just have to learn how to comprehend how to open these senses in order to move into the direction of what goes down must come up. Pretty simple. Once you learn how to meditate, you are then opening the doors in your mind, which will create your world, and it will make it a better place for you to be in, because this is your purpose in life. As I was writing my book, Fragmentology, there are 3 books in one. And in Fragmentology, yay, I finally got it on Kindle after all these years. So Fragmentology is, this is the spirit, and these are the 3 funnels in the adventure of Fragmentology. It's about a girl named Shawanisha's past, present, and future lifetimes in the year of 3050, universe 23, planet number 3. In her adventures, she has fractal animals. Fractal animals are spirit guides in each astrology. Like I said, in Native American, I am the deer people, so that is animal totems within each culture. Within each culture's astrology, you have different animals that are spirit guides. So a fractal animal is a spirit guide, and fractals are mathematical equations that are self-similar, self-replicating. It's like when you're a kid and you're looking through a kaleidoscope and you have all the different pictures that you can see through. So they're like, excuse me, funnels. And these funnels, as you go through, are portals, which are connected. So in fragmentology is basically about the micros and the macros in the matrix. The fractals are the funnels that are connected to the matrix, and this painting is called the holographical umbilical cord, because it's all connected to the matrix. When you go past the 3D third dimension, you are then going onto 4D, 5D. The 7th chakra is here. The 8th chakra is the spirit realm. So the more you move up in your chakras, the more you're elevating your purpose in life in your astrology sign. As the 3 go through, the 3 book series, the 4th one, I haven't had a chance to write that because I have so many projects. As I go through, of course I'll have to write it before I pass off in this lifetime, because otherwise all my paintings and drawings would have been a waste of time. I have 90. Each one is a specific, like there are 5 families: air, earth, fire, water, wood. 5 elements, 4 family members in each one, so that's 20. So you got mom, dad, son, daughter in air, and then you got wood and elements. So you got 4 family members in each one. And if you got the good, you got the bad. So it's the same. You got mom, dad, son, daughter in the bad. So that each bad will match each good. Then you got the scenes, and then you got characters. The characters are also the 12. There, in feng shui, there are 16. And in each character, it was simple. I was living on SoundCloud for 2 years. It was simple. I would listen to the music, and then it would tell me what color to paint each fractal animal. So that's what I did. And they have lots of them. Like, this is daughter Sotiqua. Okay? So that's fractal family bad, number 5. And then number 5 is the ruler family of all the fractal bad characters. So I made songs, I made music, and I put the music that describes the scene or the personality of the character. Because in astrology, it's about personalities. The music with the art, I painted 90 paintings. So the music with the art, and then I put it to videos and put it on my YouTube channel. So you've got the art, you've got the music, and these are all abstract paintings. Then I did quite a few videos on food, because you got to understand the nutrition you put in your mind, your body, your emotion, and your spirit will then be regulated in your spirit, which then goes into your soul, which is the way station that holds all the information of your experiences through emotions and whatnot. It will then be stored into your next lifetime, which will then come back, and if you have passed your love level, you then won't have to worry about that particular purpose from the last life, because you will then have learned it and you won't bring it forward into the next life. That's called karma. My son is a graffiti artist. He's been like that for like 15 years, maybe 20 years, most of his life. So I tell him one day, I says, I'm trying to figure out how to do a photo for my business. It boggled my mind. Even though I'm an artist, I couldn't figure it out. So I tell him, this is what I need. He takes a piece of paper and he takes a pen and he does this in 5 minutes. I'm like, holy shit, damn. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh. That's B1 Love. That is my business. I then put it on my business card. Can you see that? I don't know. Here we go. Okay. B1 Love. So, my businesses are, I am the CEO of One Spherical Love, that is my church. B1 Love, that is the conglomerate of all the 4 businesses. Then you got Healing by JDL, and that is Reiki practitioner, and so on and so forth. Then the last one to still do is Beautiful Bountiful Consulting. As a metaphysician, I don't give prescriptions. I then give you a direction to help heal. Because doctors heal, they don't cure. So the direction that I give you will help to treat you and then cure whatever ails you. It's really pretty simple when you learn how to put it all together. It's like a puzzle. Life is like a puzzle. There are no books on how to. However, I didn't bring it over. But anyways, in my book, The Infinity of Infinite Self, once again, it is my master's, my thesis for my 2 doctorals, so it's actually 3 college papers that I put in the book. The Infinity of Infinite Self, Love or Fear, Knowing or Intelligence, and A Seed of Inner Self. It is the first of the series. That's the first book series. The second book series is Fragmentology. Third book series that I'm working on is Adventure of a Spirit in a Human World, which I'm working on now. When I retire, I figure, why create a bucket list and do everything after you're like almost ready for dead? Like, seriously? Do it during your life. And then by the time I retire, I'll be like, okay, been there, done that. I've done it all. And that's the point of life. It is for the living, not the living dead. It is for the living. So you create your world as you meditate. Whatever it is that you ask, the world, the universe, will give you what it is that you need to move on to the next level. You must give your mind a purpose. You go into meditation, you have a purpose. When you go to sleep, you have a purpose. When you go to work, you have a purpose. There's always a purpose. You must hone in on what that purpose is. For me, I've always known what my purpose was. Did I always listen? Of course not. Remember, you rush anything in life, it will just get messed up. So, you must take your time. Figure out exactly what is your to-do list, what is your checklist, what is your grocery list. You start making your list. That gives you your direction. That is your point. Your direction is your point. So when you know your point and your purpose, you will then have accomplished what it is that you were meant to accomplish in this lifetime. Some people understand because they were meant to in this lifetime. Some people were not meant to understand because they were not meant to in this lifetime. They have been brainwashed so much in the norm, the dogma way of thinking and doing and so on and so forth. It's hard for them to comprehend about going into being themselves. It's truly very important to learn how to be yourself so that you're not detrimental in mind, body, emotion, spirit. When you're detrimental, that is called a deadly sin. A deadly sin will then hurt you in your mind, body, emotion, spirit. In your mind, it's what you, TV, media, all this other jazz. It's detrimental to your mind. You eat things according to your ego, it is detrimental to your body. You eat in order to give nutrition to your body, what your body needs, not what the ego wants. So you learn the different levels of who you are in order to create the best of you that you can be in personal growth daily. What is your point? What is your purpose? In fragmentology, okay, I love pictographs. They just make life so fascinating. Putting the pictographs together, like in Egyptology, you've got the symbols, and the symbols then create a language. And that language is the same in runes. Each one is a pictograph of that particular language. You got it in all the languages across the world in mythology. This is pretty much where it came from. Mythology is human history. This is where the knowledge came from, and yet people still don't understand where they came from. You have a purpose. You already know what your purpose is. You just haven't put in the path together. It's like a puzzle piece. You haven't figured out how to put it together to figure out your purpose. You need your point and your purpose. I love the pictographs. The pictographs will then are coded messages. Coded messages are all by number. It is transcending the transparencies of cosmic consciousness. There are 5 levels of consciousness. There are 5 levels of chemicals within you that activate your DMT, ditryptamine. You don't need any drugs or food or whatever to activate that. You could do that yourself when you know how to meditate. Now, when you meditate, you're finding an avenue that through your mind, you're finding this avenue to open your mind. A closed mind hurts my mind. It's like bore me to death. Open your mind, because there are different avenues in there that even science, I call it baby science, still have not figured out. You've got a past life DNA gene. I told my doctor years ago, I said the world is 98% psychosomatic and 2% DNA genes. Psychosomatic is the things that you cause in your life by thought. You think about something long enough, you're going to get it. That's the way it is. You think about, oh my God, I hope I don't get a flat tire. Oh my God, this and this and this. Or you play the if game. Like, what if this happens? Well, then it's going to happen. You think about it, it's going to happen. Why would you do that to yourself? That's detrimental. That's called a deadly sin, folks. Why would you do that to yourself? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. When you're done with that stuff, there's the door. When you're done with that and you're ready to have some fun, come back over here, okay? And we'll have some fun. And that's called finding a heart smiles daily. To find the heart smiles is the little funnies in life. And that's what, for Gemini, it's the little things in life that matter. For me, it was the coded messages. You have the geometric shapes, and in geometry, you've got the different numbers, like Morse code, the Fibonacci. You have all the different codes. Putting the codes together is deciphering a language. That is a puzzle that is absolutely fascinating, that most people are like, oh, that's too much, I can't handle that, let me just do one, like Egyptology, or they're studying the Greek language or the Hebrew language. Let me just do one and do that to the finite, which is the minuscule of whatever it is that you want to decipher. For me, it's all about the codes. And each code has a number, because it is the rhythmic, transcending the transparencies of rhythmic rhythm. Transcending is going through like the portals, and transparency is like the veils. As I mentioned earlier, you got the left and the right, and you got the fog, and incidentally, the left side of the body is female energy. The right side of the body is male energy. The left side of the body is female energy. That is a number 6. The right side of the body is male energy. That is a 3. And according to some ways of thinking, 3 is good, 6 is bad. Well, 6 is female. Wow, who knew? And 9 is all. That is the void. So 6 is the devil. 666. Really? That is just some people's way of thinking. This is called dogma. Dogma is brainwashing years and thousands of years of humanity. Why? To create power over other beings. The two biggest businesses in the world are government and religion, and guess what? They're both a non-profit because they figured out how to make a profit off of a non-profit. And this is why, if the government's not making money off of it, it's not legal. The government they finally figured out how to make marijuana legal. Guess what? It's legal now because they're making a profit. Cha-ching. Alright, that's what it's all about. So as they say, money is evil. No, it's human thought that created that to make it evil. If you believe something's evil, you will get evil. So walking under a ladder, I'll walk under a ladder. I'm not superstition. Why? Because superstition is fear. Fear lives in the first chakra. The first chakra is the primordial body of being in the reptilian state of eat or be eaten, flight or flight mechanism. It is a mechanical mechanism within your mind that sends the messages to your brain. Your body is now in fear. Why? Because back in the day, you're going to be getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger in cavewoman days, okay? Now that fear is called stress. These are psychosomatic. 2% DNA genes, as I said, 98% psychosomatic, and 2% DNA gene. That 2% is past life things that you brought into this life of unfinished business of your level of learning and teaching in the last life. This is why you're bringing it into this life. That's why it's the 2% DNA genes. That stuff is stored in your genes. And of course, humanity is still, through scientific terms, the proof is in the pudding dogma. Within, let's put it down to the 5 human senses. If you can't see it, hear it, taste it, touch it, it don't exist. Well, they're totally forgetting about a whole nother perspective. And this is why science is still a baby science, because they still haven't figured out the past life gene. It is there. They've yet to discover it. I mean, they're blowing up atoms and all kinds of things. Oh, look what we discovered. So, yeah, eventually they'll get there. Well, by that time, supposedly, humans will then be living on other planets, so then we can ruin the other planets, because supposedly years ago, the government, and this is world governments, want to eliminate half of the population, and they don't have to kill us. We'll end up killing ourselves through the emotional body of being. We're in anger because we're sitting in traffic and blah, blah, blah. Alright, find your happy spot, find your happy place, take your chill pill, and guess what? Relax those emotions, ground yourself so you're not creating the stress, which is havoc to your being, which is detrimental to your health. Relax that ego, bring it down. Sigmund Freud, 3 levels of ego. You got the id, you got the ego, the id, and the superego. Bring it down, make it basic, practical, down-to-earth, common sense. Make it basic. Don't go flying off at the handle with all the shenanigans because your ego says, it's time to do this and this. Just like when everybody was doing this, oh my God, we're not going to have food. We're going to have an economic crash and blah, blah, blah. During the cowboy and Indian days, how did people dry out their food? They didn't have electricity in the refrigerator. What did people do during the Great Depression? How did they still survive? How did they get food? You have to be able to store that. And how do you do that? You do that through herbs. You get all your herbs, you put them in your mason jars. And trust me, folks, I live in an RV. I don't have land to be growing stuff. I don't got storage places to put stuff. You have your mason jars. You put your herbs in there. This is to keep up your immune system. Excuse me. You keep up your immune system. What's going to happen in life? You're getting all stressed out. Voila, you're going to get sick. Hey, you just caused your world. You just caused your ailment, sickness, and disease. The trilogy. Learn about your herbs. You got your herbs. I take my greens. I got my kale, my collards, red leaf lettuce. These are all your dark greens. You dry them out. You put them in the food processor. You blend it up. You got an herb for 2 years instead of 2 weeks. All right. You put your herbs with your greens. You add some water. Voila. It doesn't taste fantastic, but guess what? You put a little bit of spice in there. You got a meal. And all this paranoia buying crap is like, dude, why would you do that to yourself? Seriously? Quit living in fear. Because y'all boring me. Relax. Take that chill pill. Learn how to meditate. And learn what it is that your point and purpose in life. So you can learn how to ask the universe for what it is that you want. You're going to keep, and there's some people that are just never satisfied. You're going to ask for money. You're going to get a boatload of money. And then what? If you don't have health, you don't have anything. Because what are you going to do? You're going to spend your time, money, and energy on your medical because you were so busy spending on other things, time, money, and energy, on things that have nothing to do with your health. And then guess what? There just went all that money. Why would you do that? You're working for nothing. So, keep your ego in check. I don't care if you're just born or if you're about ready for death. Keep your ego in check. Calm yourself. Ground yourself. And stop living in the fantasy world of brainwashing. Holy smokes. Really? Is it good for you? Come on. Seriously, think about it. Bring it down, folks. For me, the little happies in life, excuse me, my purpose is decoding the numbers. That is the ultimate fun. Now you can have sacred geometry. I don't understand that stuff. That's learning to seriously decode, okay? You gotta know them mathematical equations. For me, it's more about, the mathematical equations through the portals. So it's basically, instead of the spirit guides or the angels, it is the intelligent beings through portals in other time dimensions that give me the information. The universe, I guess they talk to the universe, and the universe then talks to them, and then they tell me what I need to know. I don't know how that stuff works, but that's the coding. I have to decode that stuff. And as the story goes on in fractalogy, after she's ready from her room, she is now discovering, because remember, she was just born, so she was discovering that she has flight. So in her flight, she has a nightmare, and when she wakes up from the nightmare, this is the after nightmare painting. And as you can see, it's the fractal tree. Everything is fractals in my paintings. As she wakes up, she discovers that she could fly. And no, she doesn't have wings. So, she discovers these things in life when man, woman, all humans, to me this is the lazy way of communicating when you're using your mouth. It's right here. And when everybody is communicating here, they can then understand what is the next thing to do or where to go. And it's like norm, dogma. dude, that is ancient caveman days. This is the real world. In order to understand how the real world functions within your world, you are creating your world right here. This is the rational part of the brain. This is staying here all the time is boring. You need to move it over into the temporal lobe. That is the creative part. This is where you're going to meditate. This is how you communicate with God and the universe and so on and so forth. For me, all this is put together through codes. These are all numbers. The numbers will then tell me the direction to go of how to decipher these codes. And deciphering is like, for instance, universe transforms the creation of immortality. This is a symbol for Greek of universe. This is a symbol for basic alchemy in creation. This is a Greek symbol for immortality. Universe transforms the creation of immortality. Do you see the pictographs? I drew these, and this is what this is about. It's deciphering these codes. These codes are in, like I say, this is in the Vikings. So every culture has its own codes. It's absolutely fascinating, and as you can see, it's their language. You want to decipher the codes. The codes are numbers. The numbers are the rhythmic rhythms. The numbers are, when you're listening to meditation music, solfegia, frequencies, cell regeneration therapy. There are 9. You have 174 hertz, 285 hertz, 396 hertz, 417 hertz, 528 hertz, 639 hertz, 741 hertz, 963 hertz. 963 is up here. So the 174 is the first chakra. These are hertz or megahertz. So you got to know the BPMs, beats per minute, and the hertz, megahertz. When you combine the two together, you will then find the third particle. Particles are part of the whole. The particles are what regulates the atoms, the protons, the neurons, the whole shebang in the universe, in humans, in plants, in every life form. These are the codes. The codes will then regulate by numbers. These numbers are codes that are sent out from the earth. And it's like throwing a pebble on water, and you'll see it do a ripple effect. And that ripple effect then gets bigger and bigger on the ponds or the oceans or whatever, and through waves, right? So as you look at the moon, they've done studies that the moon phases will affect human emotion. So all the planets out there and all that jazz do affect human beings, trees, all the plants, the lizards, the whole shebang. It then regulates by these numbers. Vibrational vibrations of rhythmic rhythms. When your mother was pregnant with you, it is the rhythm of her heartbeat, which is what you knew for the time that she was pregnant with you. You then got used to that sound, that rhythm of vibration was what you're always looking for in life after you come into the world. You want to find that rhythm. So when you're searching for your soulmate, everyone is your soulmate. Because it is your lesson to teach and your lesson to learn in this lifetime. And each lifetime. Oh, I forgot my Reverend collar. Hey, that's life. It's over there. There's so many things to do. You can't remember everything. You are looking for that rhythm in your soulmate. I want someone that can finish my sentences when I'm talking. I want someone to do this and this and this and this. Guess what, folks? You are your own teacher. You are your own student. You are your own parent. You are your own everything. Who is in control? You or your ego? Alright? Who is in control? You or your mind? Who is in control? Remember, you've been brainwashed in the world of dogma that there is someone higher than you and they are in control of you. And that's why you go through life like, oh, I wish I had this, and you're depressed, and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you, I'm going to be 60 next year. Let me tell you, in my 20s and 30s, I was raising 2 children, working full-time, married, and in college. And in my 30s, I threw in the military on top of that. Hello? So, it's not about you finding someone that makes you a better person. You are a better person when you discover who it is that you are. You want to find who it is that belongs with you, you must become the person that you want to be with. That's what it boils down to. So remember, learn about them chill pills. I had a boss before years ago, and I found it was awesome. I mean, that's a good psychological effect he used to do. He had a chair next to his desk, and, you know, who would think that being a landscaper would be hard? But it really is, because everybody and their brothers trying to, like, tell you how to do your job. Like, dude, your butt's sitting in that chair in the office. Let me see you out here doing what I'm doing, and then you could come and tell me what I'm doing, all right? And that's the way it is. So, bottom line, you have a chair. People would have a bad day. Well, it could be with their spouse or whatever. They got a load going on in here. They need to unload it. Like I said, I release this every 24 hours. I don't want that extra baggage of sack of potatoes carrying around through life. There's too much to do and too much fun to have. I ain't living in the past. This is now. Learn how to get rid of that baggage. They would sit in that chair. He had a big old jar of peanuts with the shells. And people would take out a handful and they're blah, 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 right? And they would break up the shells and they'd be eaten. And by the time they're done, they released it all. And basically, thanks, boss. Yep, see ya. And they went on about their day. That's the way it should be. You gotta unload the baggage. Sorry for my French, as they say. My motto is, you gotta get your bitch fest on. You gotta get all that crap out. You do that for a couple of minutes and you're good to go, and then you move on. So I tell people all the time, and of course, 30 years professional landscaper, it's always men. I've yet to discover any woman that decides that, hey, just like me, you need to do the physical. Why do you want to pay money at the gym? This is free. This is free exercise. And you're getting your UV rays. It's helping you mentally, physically, the whole shebang. I talking to men, and they get, some of them are sorry to say, but they're weak. And they call me intimidating. Little me? I'm only like less than 5'3". I'm 113, 150 pounds. And you're intimidated by this little woman? Wow, okay. And I always say, sorry to say, folks, but I have more cojones than most men because they're afraid. Dude, stop living in the land of fear. Grab yourself up by the bootstraps and get to work. It's called get her done. That's the way it is in the construction mentality. Get her done. You get in, get that job done, and you get out. That's the way it is, because time is money. Remember, this is the government. Keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. Why do you think I work for the government? Hello? Alright. I'm 20. I wanted to travel for a living. I wanted to get paid to travel. That is, either be a captain of a boat, be an airline pilot, or be a trucker. So it happens. I wanted a government job when I'm 20. Took me 20 years to get there. Got it when I was 40. Guess what? I'm a truck driver. Unfortunately, it's not quite what I had in mind because, like I said, you must be specific. You get what you want, but not how you want it, because you weren't specific in the first place. Lo and behold, I drive around town because I'm pulling my trailer. That's 18,000 pounds. Yes, you must have a CDL A license. A license is for like 18-wheel trucks, commercial driver license, to pull the mower around town. So my truck is a 550 10-cylinder. So I'm a trucker, and let me tell you, after doing it for so many years, I don't wanna. When I retire, I don't wanna travel. I thought I did, but it's just too much work. Why wait to do your bucket list after you retire and about ready for dead? Just do it during your life, and then that way, as my husband at the time would say, hey, just get it out of your system. And that's what I'm doing. Good advice. For coding the messages in different cultures, that is my purpose. And I'm getting there slowly because I have so many projects, and each project brings me a little closer in the particles. The particles are like, you have a pizza pie. Pizza pie has 8 pieces. Each piece has pepperoni and cheese and all that jazz. Those are parts of the whole, which is the pizza pie. So each part has, what is that cheese made of? What is that pepperoni made of? These are particles. Particles are the atoms, the neurons, the protons, all this jazz. The particles are part of the whole. The whole is the core of being, because you are in your soul path in this lifetime. You are your teacher. You are your student. You are your parent. You are your everything. You then have to learn how to discover who you are in order to become the best you there is in each lifetime, to learn your lessons. For me, it's about the decoding. That is absolutely fascinating stuff. As the angel in the soul, the spirit is going, the soul is going through the universe in the book Fragmentology. It's going through the universe, just traveling along, doesn't know its purpose, until the angel finally appears in the atmosphere of the universe. This is the angel. And the angel basically has coded messages. The coded messages are the universe transforms the creation of immortality. You see, these are in the angel. So as the angel travels through the universe, it is now painted. As it travels, it ends up in the tree. And as it travels and ends up in the tree, you see the colors? That is the angel. This is Frixie. Frixie is a cross between a fairy and a pixie. Fairies are good. Pixies get you in trouble. So that the angel can keep an eye on everything, The angel is Yala. Yala is the power source in fractology. Each code has a specific meaning. Each code is deciphered inside of your DNA genes. You don't need scientific machines to find these codes. You meditate to find these codes. These coded messages are sent, like I said, through the portals, through the time frequency, because 3D third dimension is time, space, and mass matter. With science, it's discovering there are certain particles that are in other light years away in other planets. They're discovering different types of life forms through, yes, at one time there was life here because there was show signs of millions or billions of years ago, life forms were there because of water. And as you understand, excuse me, all humans are microbes. Trees are microbes. Animals are microbes. We're all microbes. And we do not come from here. We are the aliens. And if you watch the planets, they expand and contract with heat and cold. So they expand and contract, and eventually then there's no more expanding and contracting. They expand so much they blow up. Or other planets, okay, so it blows up. Those particles, which are meteorites, land on other planets. There's water there, boom, microbe and water. Hey, life forms. Life formed the same way for billions of years, and then those particles in the meteorite ended up on Earth. It then started forming, and it's a new planet. It turns from a star to a planet. So we are there. These microbes are forming. This is why back in the day there was a lot of fish in the ocean. As the fish die, because people decide that, hey, this is good stuff. As the fish die, the soul goes into the universe. That soul has to go somewhere because there are a certain amount, it's all a category in the codes. There are certain amount of souls in each dimension, and they're multi-dimensional in multiverses. There are a certain amount of souls that must come back because it needs to learn its lesson and teach its lesson in each lifetime. So as the souls in the fishes in the marine life goes up because it's dead or been eaten or whatever, the soul goes up, and then it comes back and it's progressed into frogs and salamanders, and then it starts walking, and then all of a sudden we got dinosaurs, and it just keeps walking. All of a sudden we got caveman, just keeps walking. And this is how it forms. So the soul is rebirth and reincarnated in each lifetime. That's how it works. The more you understand how to decipher the codes, the more you can understand your point and purpose in life. These coded messages come to us from other intelligent beings in other portals. I lose my train of thought sometimes. In other dimensions, in other multiverses. We receive these through, right here. I don't know, something decided it wanted to fall down. It's like, it's my paint for when I'm painting. it decided it didn't like sit like that no more, so it decided to come down. And that's, I get so excited sometimes when I do things, and it's like, it was a sign to like, chill out. It's the little funnies in life. I like making myself laugh. It's like, really? Okay, decided to make a visit? Okay, welcome aboard. As you understand each one, the soul has coded messages, which are then brought forth into the spirit when you are then born. You then have to remember how to recreate, rebirth, and reincarnate those coded messages, because that's what it's all about. Your mind, you can have an OBE in your dream state. It is your waking state, while your waking state is in the dream state. So it's like a role reversal when you dream. That's why there's REM sleep and all that good jazz. When you begin to understand the different levels of sleep, there's a multitude of activity within a certain amount of time. Time, space, mass, matter in 3D third dimension. So within that time frame, you are receiving these coded messages. You then have to learn how to decipher the coded messages that are brought to you in your dream state. Some people don't understand, so they disregard dreams as it's not real. But in reality, it is, because it is a different level of reality. In your dream state, you can accomplish a lot because it's playing out what you did during your waking state. Because now it's a role reversal. So if things are going good for you in your waking state, then when you go into your dream state, things are going bad over there for you. If things are going good for you over there, it's going bad for you in your waking state. See, this is you. This is the soulmate that you're always searching for, because you're always searching for you to help you unravel the coded messages. Pretty simple stuff, folks. Remember, I am a metaphysician. I help you to create and recreate, reconnecting mind, body, emotion, spirit into one love, which is self-love. And in each segment on my YouTube channel, you will see different segments that are going on. Remember, if you like my content, like, share, and subscribe. And blessings from Reverend Lewis. Thank you for your support.